Moira, played by Natalie J. Robb, was left distraught when Vanessa Woodfield, Michelle Hardwick, explained how Susie, Martell Edinburgh, had given Holly, Sophie Powles, the money for the drugs which resulted in her overdose on Emmerdale several years ago. The matriarch's loved ones were all appalled to discover how the newcomer had a connection to Holly but never thought to tell them how she knew the deceased. With the secret now out in the open on the ITV soap, it seems some exits could be on the cards and the beloved mother of four could be one of them. After finding out the truth about Holly in Tuesday night's installment of the weeknight serial drama, Moira returns to Barton's farm where she stewed over the revelation with Vanessa. "I should have been straight with you, I should have told you Holly knew Susie as soon as I found out," the Village vet remarked. "She asked you not to," Moira replied, trying to offer some reassurance she wasn't angry at her friend but she couldn't help but express some resentment. "I know she did but that should have set alarm bells ringing. I'm an idiot for trusting her in the first place," Vanessa continued, having found out the whole truth about Holly in Monday night's episode. The pair were interrupted by a knock at the door and they were horrified to see Susie standing there wanting to explain herself. "I'm not here to upset you, I came today sorry," Susie began as she wanted to beg Moira to forgive her for her past mistakes. "For what exactly? Encouraging an addict to buy drugs or hiding it from everyone?" the farmer asked as she tried to keep her cool. "Both, Moira, I had no idea Holly was an addict. I thought she took cocaine but not heroin," the businesswoman replied as she tried to wiggle herself out of the situation. Moira wasn't giving up, however, as she said, "So giving her money for fun drugs, that's acceptable? Drugs are drugs. It doesn't matter what drugs you sent her to buy that night, you gambled with her life," Holly's mother declared to Susie. Once again with an answer, Susie told Moira, "I wasn't thinking about the consequences back then," but her girlfriend was furious. Vanessa piped up as she remarked, "You thought about the consequences of owning up. This was never about hurting Moira, you didn't want us knowing you were a cokehead and a liar." "Because I didn't want to hurt you, only I've gone and hurt you more by lying," the businesswoman said with genuine sorrow in her voice. Moira was still seething, however, as she explained, "I can see you now, dishing out drugs, not caring about the damage you were doing. How twisted is that? Do you know what? I don't want to even waste my energy hating you because you are dead to me and I never want to see you again." This was a hint Moira could pack her bags and leave as if Susie decides to stay in the village, the Barton matriarch would know she wouldn't be able to live there anymore. Despite her life being in the Dales and having created a family there, the beloved character knew if she were to stay, someone would wind up dead. Not wanting her youngest son to end up visiting his mother behind bars, Moira would decide to take action before that point. Many villagers would be angry Susie was driving their friend away but stubborn to the bone, the businesswoman wouldn't want to leave. Could it finally be time for viewers to bid farewell to Moira after so much drama over the past 13 years living in the village? How well do you know your British soaps? How many times has Ian Beale been married in EastEnders? What is the name of Bianca Jackson and Ricky Butcher's son on EastEnders? On EastEnders in 2002, who accidentally ran Jamie Mitchell over in his car which caused his death? How many times has Corey Steve MacDonald been married? What happened to Emily Bishop in Coronation Street? Who murdered Maxine Peacock in Coronation Street in 2003? Which incident in 1993 killed off 4 characters in Emmerdale? When did the show stop being known as Emmerdale Farm? On what day did Hollyoaks air its first episode? What was the name of the much-loved Coronation Street pet dog who was put down in April 2020 after 14 years? 1996 saw the arrival of one of Hollyoaks' all-time bad boys and rival, Kurt Benson, but who is he? Who is the longest-serving character on Coronation Street? Who shot Phil in EastEnders? How many fires have there been at Corey's Rover's return? Get out of my pub, you're no soaps fan. You're either too young to remember the big lines or have better things to do on weekday evenings. Casual viewer, you watch them sometimes so you kinda know what's been going on. Die-hard fan, you love watching the soaps so much your entire week is planned around when they air. After her confrontation with Susie, Moira was heartbroken as she asked Vanessa if she could be left alone to grieve for her daughter all over again. This resulted in the mother of four cradling a picture of her daughter as she broke down in tears over Holly's death. Again, this is a clear indication Moira will never forgive Susie and wouldn't be able to live in the village with her. It could be her son Matty Barton, Ash Pomishino, and her husband Kane Dingle, Jeff Hordley, end up going with her to make a fresh start elsewhere. In the past, the actress who plays Moira, Natalie, has spoken about possibly leaving the program after more than a decade. Back in 2018, just 9 years after she joined the cast of Emmerdale, the soap star addressed whether an exit was possible in the future. Natalie explained to ITV's This Morning, "Well, I don't know, what do you think? When you put it like that. I'm exhausted. Having had 4 more extra years on the show and having worked through the pandemic, the actress could see this as the right time for her to leave." Could it be her exit will play out in the lead-up to the show's 50th anniversary celebrations, which are set to be marked in October?